America's $7 trillion retirement crisis is only getting worse. Economic turmoil took a toll on savings in the first half of 2022, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, as many in the U.S. lack employer-sponsored plans, the article in Bloomberg says. For the average American, retirement savings are essential. However, the situation is getting dire as the country's economic health is shaken. Many people in the United States are not in a good position to ensure their future stability. According to a recent survey by Geobanking Rates, most Americans have saved less than $50,000 for when they retire. Specifically, 36% have less than $10,000, and another 27% have saved between $10,000 and $50,000. And we can see a lot of news saying millions of Americans nearing retirement age with no savings. Like, for instance, Marianne O'Connor from Cumberland, Rhode Island, who works on 2 jobs with no savings or 401k, and was forced to sell her home and bought a smaller one with 2 other women. Or, U.S. pension funds are on the brink of implosion, and Wall Street is ignoring it. As government officials in the United States get ready to give even more of the savings of government employees to wealthy private equity investors, a warning has been issued for those who are paying attention. Thus, given the turbulent economic crisis in the U.S., in this video, we are going to talk about the retirement savings issue in America. But before diving into the subject, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Nowadays, a lot of Americans rely on their personal savings in 401k accounts to supplement their income from Social Security when they retire. This is different from a few decades ago, when retirees used to receive a constant income from traditional pensions. According to statistics, in 2021, a significant majority of Americans who were 60 or older had some savings put aside for when they retire. About 87% of them had saved something. However, that means about 13% of people in that age group didn't have any retirement savings at all. As for younger people, the percentage of those who had saved for retirement went down the younger they were. For example, among adults aged 18 to 29, only about 62% had started saving for retirement. The chart provided by the Economic Policy Institute shows that, in simpler terms, fewer people have been joining retirement plans since the year 2000. This decrease is more significant for workers with traditionally defined benefit pensions than those with 401k-style defined contribution plans. For families with adults aged 32 to 61 years old, participation in any retirement plan went down from 60% in 2001 to 54% in 2016. Studies suggest that inflation is the primary driver of America's lack of confidence in retirement savings. The BlackRock report once again poured a cold shower on the dreamers of a better economic future and said inflation is a crucial driver for the decline in confidence. Nearly 87% of workplace savers reported they are concerned about inflation impacting their retirement. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers rose 0.4% in February 2023 seasonally adjusted, after rising 0.5% in January and 0.1% in December 2022. From February 2022 to February 2023, gasoline prices fell 2.0% and offset increases in food and shelter prices, resulting in the index for all items increasing 6.0%. Although not as high as in June last year, when inflation skyrocketed to 9.1%, a 40-year record, this problem will create a lot of headaches for those who want to retire and those who already have retirement savings. And the biggest problem is that there is no short-term solution. Thus, households will have to carry this burden on their own. Plus, experts are not shy when commenting on the retirement issue. The United States is definitely facing a retirement crisis, said Nari Ree, a director of the Retirement Security Program at the UC Berkeley Labor Center. If we don't do anything about it, years down the line, you are going to wind up with a lot more seniors in poverty and reliance on public services. During the pandemic, many people in the U.S. could put money aside because they received financial assistance and also because many businesses were closed due to the lockdowns, which meant people stayed at home instead of spending money on things they used to do outside. However, high inflation started to affect savings by devaluing their purchasing power. For example, if you have saved up to $1,000, the value of your savings may actually be around $940 due to inflation. Similarly, if you have $10,000 saved up, you may notice that about $600 of your savings have disappeared without you having spent any of it. Moreover, Vanguard, a company that takes care of about 5 million retirement accounts, discovered that more and more people who participate in their employer's retirement plan are asking for loans or taking out money, as prices for goods and services increased rapidly in the past year. Vanguard looked at information from their $7.2 trillion asset management company and found that a vast number of people use their 401k retirement savings to pay for urgent needs like medical expenses or being without a job for a long time. Vanguard's global head of investor research and policy, Fiona Grieg, said, "We're seeing some early signs that some families are feeling the bite of perhaps higher inflation and wages not keeping pace with that inflation. So, not only are average households not able to save money, but they are spending their savings right now." As if the climbing inflation was not enough, which forces workers to deplete their savings, high interest rates may kill retirement funds. Inflation won't kill your retirement, but interest rates might, says the article in Forbes. When interest rates are high, it's good news if you're looking to invest in new bonds or fixed-rate annuities. But at the same time, it makes the bonds and fixed-rate annuities you already own less desirable, which means their prices may go down. As a result, the money you have saved in a money market account, which is an account with a mix of bonds that have different maturity dates, may decrease in value. In an attempt to ease the impact of inflation, Fed has hiked interest rates even more. The increase takes the benchmark federal funds rate to a target range between 4.75% and 5%. The rate sets what banks charge each other for overnight lending, but feeds through to many consumer debts like mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards, CNBC reported. Observers believe Federal Reserve will continue raising interest rates until inflation reaches the 2% target. The Fed plans to increase interest rates to 5.1% by the end of 2023, which means they will raise it by a small amount, one more time before taking a break. However, officials did indicate that interest rates will likely remain higher for longer, as they brought their projected federal funds rate up to 4.3% from 4.1% in 2024. Lastly, banking sector failure will likely affect retirement savings. The beginning of March was catastrophic for the industry. America's two large financial companies, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Banks, collapsed in 48 hours. This was the most significant crisis since 2008. Since the pension funds are diversified investors whose holdings in Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank were small portions of their portfolios, experts aren't overly concerned about losses for relatively small holdings, Associated Press writes. However, in terms of the Fed's interest rates, which affect pension savings, it may cause problems. We'll be looking to see how serious is this, and does it look like it's going to be sustained, Powell said at a news conference following the conclusion of the Fed's latest policy meeting. It could easily have a significant macroeconomic effect, and we would factor that into our policies. So, be sure that this will shake savers' confidence in financial system even more. considering a study by Social Science Research Network estimates that 186 other banks are at risk of failing, like the now doomed Silicon Valley Bank. There is little hope for the future of the industry. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts on the subject in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video.